There we are. Recording in progress. So welcome everybody to this coming together for communion with Spirit. We're, coming from the Temple of Light group, and we're just going to share. If you recognize anything, please either wave, raise your hand, or if needs be, just press mute. If you all we'll need is yes, no, I don't know, and we'll take it from there. You don't need to give us any information because that's our job. Okay? So I'm just going to take a wee moment here and tune in and see what I'm impressed with, because I know I had a lot of spirit energy joining me earlier on this evening. So let's see. Okay, I'm having a gentleman join me, and first thing he's really showing me is he has a toolbox. I'm seeing him in, those overalls. He kind of looks like a mechanic to me. I'm not sure if that would be particularly his job. Actually, I think it might be. They're showing me like, Phil Mitchell. I think he was a mechanic in EastEnders, that kind of thing. They're just putting references in my mind. So I feel like I have a gentleman here. There's, either he's definitely at one point worked as a mechanic or a mechanic. Very, very creative man with his hands. Really could fix anything. Let's see. He's got a very friendly demeanor. They're bringing me back to Phil. They're bringing me back to Phil Mitchell, that name, Phil. So either Phil will connect around it, either this will be the man's name or it'll be connected around him. But, just have that sort of loosely around because I'm not absolutely sure. Okay, I do feel like he did pass as a young man. This isn't a young man. It's sort of like a man more in the prime of his life, is the way that he feels. And I do feel like he passed quite quickly. I'm actually feeling either some kind of accident. So I've just given those pieces so far. Is any of that resonating with anybody? With Phil Mitchell here. Oh, you're only joking. It's not Phil Mitchell. Okay, so I have Pam.
Yes, it's resonating with Billy there, with Billy Joe.
Billy Joe and Pam, is your hand up? Does that make sense for you? So I have two. Any other takers? Only joking. Right, so two at the minute. So even Pam, if you want to even unmute yourself, I'm going to work a bit harder here and we'll sort of take it from there. So can I ask what pieces, because when I hear your voice, I'll see where I'm drawn a bit more. Okay, so Billy, can I ask what pieces of that information you can take?
Not the man Phil's name, however, a young man who passed quite young in the prime of his life, and he was a mechanic when I knew him.
Okay, and Pam, what about yourself?
Same here. I can take all of it except the name. The
name, okay. Yeah. So Phil Mitchell needs to do one. What are you joking? So young man, prime of his life, mechanic, and he did, there's some kind of accident here. So I'm just going to work on and see what is connected in for you lovely ladies. I actually feel like this man, okay, he's doing lots with his hands. I feel like there's a reference here to do with him whistling, and I feel like either he whistled a lot or this would have like wound people up. That would have been maybe something that could strike sort of a memory. What is this he's doing? I wouldn't be surprised if he either, it feels like a guitar to me. I feel like he played an instrument or something here. He's doing this with his hands. Two bits of random information, but is any of those pieces making sense for you ladies?
Nothing.
I think maybe the whistling, but he didn't play any instruments that I knew of.
Okay, so I'm just can possibly be misinterpreting this, but I feel like that's going to come back around. He's definitely doing something here with me, so I'm just gonna work a bit harder. I definitely feel I feel like he had children, either daughter or daughters. You see, I would be more inclined to say daughters. Daughters. What else are you looking to give me? Let me see. I'm seeing him very social. I'm seeing him like either playing snooker. I'm seeing him in like a social club and sort of being, known around town as like a friendly sociable, all that kind of stuff. So would any of those pieces of information make sense? Daughters, daughters.
Well, I'll go first. Mine had a son and a daughter.
Son and a daughter, okay. And what about yourself, Billy? Oh, sorry, Pam.
No, I was just going to say that the social place is like very spot on.
The social aspect, sorry, the social.
Yeah, playing snooker is very relevant. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. What about yourself, Billy?
Also playing snooker, very relevant. The social aspect as well, the social person.
What about the daughters?
When I knew him, he didn't, but I think just before he passed, he had a daughter with someone else, like a stepdaughter, and then he had a baby son, I think, just before he passed.
Okay. Son and a daughter for both of you. It's like, you know the same guy, don't you? Only it's the same information. Okay, I'm just going to work on and see what this lovely gentleman is showing me. He's also showing me aspects here as he's saying, you know, you're showing all my lovely sides. I think there's a side to him where he's saying he wasn't exactly perfect. And let's see, what way I'll put this. I feel like at times he could be maybe a little irresponsible. I'll put it this way. There's times where he could just, I'll not even say who, they're putting a certain person in my mind and I know them to be a bit irresponsible, a bit impulsive. And I'll just work a wee bit further on with him. So I feel like there's other, attributes of his personality. I also feel like who he's connected in here, because obviously I haven't worked this out yet, would something to do with there's also a female. So it's like, this person. Obviously, I feel like you know them yourself, but I also think that either you just know each other through another female, or there's another female that he's bringing in here that's relevant, but I do feel like she's still here. So I can't even remember what I said, but is any of that making sense, ladies?
Yeah.
Billy, what about you're also okay, Pam? A bit irresponsible, a bit impulsive, and whatever else I said there, I can't remember. Right, let's see, because he's gonna known for a female. I'm asking him now to give me something really specific. I'm gonna even ask him for something that's for one of you ladies in the here and now, something that can be relevant. I'm actually, okay. He's showing me an apple, and I know this seems like just purely random, but there's something to do. This apple is making me feel like something to do with schooling and children and issues at the moment in your life. That's what he's wanting to bring in. So is anybody having trouble with children issues at school?
Yeah.
Billy, okay. What about yourself, Pam?
No, I've no school children at all. School-age children.
So I needed him to, give me something for to find my recipient. Okay, so Pam, thank you so much. And
No
probably I was feeling a little bit more drawn to Billy, because this feels like stronger. This is your spur person. Thank you so much, Pam, for being involved there. Thank you. Let me see. So issues with the apple and the school and stuff like that going on and around. So this is where we're at. So let me see what this wonderful guy wants to bring in. He's wanting to bring in a bit more fun, a bit more happy times. I have to be honest. I'm actually, and this is sort of more regards, he's coming in. There's, how am I going to put this? I feel like there's stuff going on in your life at the moment, Billy, that's very, very stressful, because my hands are literally going like this. And they're showing me actually bits of, apparently I grind my teeth at night. I don't know that I do it, but apparently it's stress related. So he's showing me elements of that where there's needing to be people either taking more responsibility around you, people needing to help you out. I know that you're very independent, but I feel like you are either, it's kind of like, showing me my friends, they do this all the time. To me, it's embarrassing, so I have to admit it. They're showing me where I won't ask for help, even if I need it, even if I'm gritting my teeth. And it's so hard to ask for help. So I feel like there's elements of this, it's multi-layered. It's not even like one person or one situation. I feel like it's a lot of stuff going on. Is that making sense, Billy, for you?
Absolutely spot on. Yes.
Okay. Because, you know, they were actually just putting that feeling of, you know, with all this sort of stuff going on. He is wanting to bring in, you know, his elements of his life where he was just more fun. And I know there's feelings of being restricted, and I know there's like hard work and dedication and a beautiful spiritual ability that you have. But there is this, he's literally wanting to do this with me and just saying, please speak up. It's like you can speak up for other people, that's not a problem, but you're needing to speak up for yourself. Speak up for yourself. I feel like that's what this wonderful man is bringing in. He's saying, you know, my flaws and all, he's sort of saying from this aspect that he's really connecting in for the stuff, you know, lending support and the energy to what you need. Let me see. He's making me aware of that up into Christmas. Okay, and I know that's not exactly just next week, and it might be a long time to wait, but I feel like there's a process of things getting sorted out. And okay, it's not right away, but I'm feeling like he's wanting to bring that there. He's literally putting like sunshine and better times in my mind in regards to schooling situation with children or child or children. I have to be honest, I'm not sure. So know that you're doing everything that you can, and you are, you know, you're a strong backbone and sticking up for, say, for example, your children. And just know that he's saying there's things are moving in the right direction. But sorry that it's like not getting sorted next week, but know that there's processes that are going on. And it's just now, just as I'm leaving and he's sort of, his energy's sort of leaving me a bit, there's something to do with him wanting to recognize a little dog. I don't know what that is. Let me, do you know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye? Like a little dog doing a trick, and it's like, yay, or, you know, this kind of thing. So, yeah, he wants to sort of, there's something to do with a little dog here, and it just bringing lots of like happiness and joy, and something to do with, unless it's a small dog and doing a little trick. I don't know if that makes sense or not, Billy, but I'm going to leave you with that and his support to come around you at the moment.
Wow, that was unbelievable. Thank you so much. That was so detailed, and every single thing when you were describing him, but then when you were describing my life right now, like what he was letting you know about my life, every single thing was so accurate. So, wow, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for joining us. And I know you're Temple of Light lady, so thank you for hosting us, whatever way it's working.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I'm just going to move on and open my mind up to a new spirit person, and here she comes, because she is coming right in. I love it. I love the big characters. I have a wonderful older lady here, and she is, there's such a brilliant strength with this lady. She is that the matriarch, is that what you call it? The matriarch of family. What I would actually, you know, one of the first things that she's bringing me is that she would have been, and she's admitting this, she wouldn't have maybe admitted this in life, but let me just give it to you, right? She was probably too involved in her children's relationships. So it's this kind of mother figure where, you know, people may have maybe called her a battle axe or this, that, and the other, but she was just so loved her family and so involved in her family. But I'm feeling she's shown me a bit too much, and that it would have caused arguments. And this is not just one child. I feel like she maybe had at least 4 children, and she would have been like involved in their business. I've got a wee gossip queen. I love it. I think she's great, but she is making me aware she was very, very involved in their life, maybe too involved, because it definitely caused ructions. It caused family issues. I feel like all of these in-laws were and have complained about her at points. And she wouldn't have seen it at the time. It wouldn't have occurred, if I'm really honest. But she's sort of showing me that now, where that bigger, you know, scope of perspective, where she did cause a lot of issues with just being in the business, especially the boys. Well, the girl as well, but you know, She was very much involved. Just see if there's, okay, completely random. I'm just, you know, getting the sense of the name Pamela. Now, I don't know if that might, it feels more like maybe it's not her name. It could be someone around her, maybe one of her children or grandchildren. But that is the information I'm going to put forth at the moment. So, have we any takers? Am I seeing hands waving from Pam? Right, so Pam, you unmute yourself, my friend. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, is there anybody else? Answer me, ladies. Julianne, Zanne, do you see anything? No, good stuff. Right. Okay, Pam. So, do you see that? Do you know what's happened there? Your man, Phil Mitchell, he wasn't Phil Mitchell's left the door open and then somebody else has jumped in. They didn't want you to be, you know, be left for nothing. Can you just tell me then, what parts of that information can you take?
All of it.
All of it. Okay, that's great. That's what I want to hear. Everybody else, listen up. Only God, it's so weird just hearing yourself laughing back. I was like, oh, sound like a dick. Anyway, I'm going to edit that out. Never mind. Okay. So having this lady now, okay, she's showing me that this must be your mother. I have to be honest, I'm not sure, mother, grandmother, but she is directly involved. You're her descendant, so to speak. She's showing me you, and then she's above, right? So is this mother, grandmother? Sorry, I can't differentiate.
It's my mother-in-law.
Oh, mother-in-law. Oh, well, she was coming in a bit more politely there, so she was. Right, okay, sticky business. Let's see what we're doing here. Okay, so she's sort of highlighting back to the original statement where she would have not admitted that in life, but from her perspective now, she is admitting that. So does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. 30 years
yeah.
I did it, not apology.
Just bringing me back to that. Okay, hilarious. But you know what? I feel very much so that she loved her sons as she loved her. I am feeling a daughter as well. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She just loved them so much. They were like, just like mother hen. They're my kids. They're my grandkids, and she's proud. And it's like, whoa, I'm betide, whatever that expression is. You know, anybody that's going to go anywhere near them. I very much loved her grandchildren. Loved them. Let me see. Oh, okay. She was sort of maybe showing me there, you know, when I've made that statement, that I think there would have been possibilities for her to be treating some differently. And she's talking about, oh, I was closer to the ones that were nearer to me. Would that make sense at all to you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, okay. Because she corrected me. Now, she was giving me the love, and then she was like, but I need to tell you how it really was. You know, so there is an element of this lady taking responsibility. Now, I know you wouldn't have got that, but she's sort of then making me aware of the finer details and the quirks of how she was. Very much this lady would have, I feel like she had a henpecked husband. You know, she'd say, you know, jump, and he'd say her high. So, but very much her, you know, what would I put it? They connected well, because they were both happy with the situation, whereas maybe other people might have made comments like, "Oh, that poor man," or blah blah blah, and he'd have been, but he was happy, and she was happy with the way things were.
Yeah,
it worked in that sense. Okay, right. She's wanting to bring up here. She's wanting to bring up she is definitely proud, and I feel like it's a granddaughter. It's a granddaughter. She's wanting to show me something here where they've either there's a sense of achievement, and she's really, really proud. Either they've met a milestone, or maybe they people thought that this particular child wouldn't have done as well, or something like that. Something where she's going, this wee child, either there's a recognition for doing well, and this is recent, you know, this is either current, because it doesn't feel, you know, it feels like it's happened because she's showing me that. So is there any wee things where maybe a certain child was either underestimated, and then people, you know, she's just overjoyed that they've sort of met a milestone. Is any of that making sense for you, Pam?
But that was 100%, yeah.
Okay, good. So that is lovely. She's wanting to bring in that care and that support, and she's dicing all around. I'm like, what about poor Pam? What have you got to say? What have you got to say for Pam? Where are we going? Okay. She's wanting to bring up your relationship, and obviously then that means that it would be her son. And sort of, what way will I put this? That she wants to recognize now that you, what way is she putting this to me? Like, it's sort of back and forth, that you've played your part, as in a good way, where if he wasn't sort of behaving exactly correctly, you know, the way in life, she would have never seen any wrong, but there's real recognition of, you know, I have to be honest, I feel like you would, what would I put this? You behave better in the relationship sort of than him, and he would be the one that, and I don't mean anything really super, super bad. I just mean that she's sort of recognizing that you have always wanted to keep a steady and balanced household, and you have, you know, sort of let things, I don't want to say away with it. I'm trying to find the right words. You have sort of,
Don't let him away with it. Yeah,
what?
You're right what you said there. Yeah.
So she's wanting to recognize that from this different perspective now that she has. So it is a real, she's saying, oh my, she's saying she's proud of you. She's saying she's proud of you. I'm proud of how you have behaved in the marriage. Okay. So she's showing me that you were very good for him. You are, you know, very good for him. And that she's really proud of you for that. And when he's had his wobbles or whatever is going on there, or just not behaving great, you know, nobody's perfect, but that she's shown that you've always kept a steady household and kept him sort of kept you together and in check, and she wants to sort of commend you for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see. So she's proud of you, she's proud of the granddaughter, and she's saying, you know, she's sending her love to her whole family. She really wants me to say to you to pass this all on, but take a piece of that for yourself. Thank you for letting me work with you.
Lovely, Ashley. Thank you very much.
You're so
That's
welcome.
amazing. Thank you.
Okay. Sweating. I'm going to take a rest. Okay, so I'm back to my ladies.
I think it's my turn to sweat now, is it, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So just the same as Ashley, ladies, just put your hand up or wave when I ask, does anybody recognize? And I'm just seeing who's going to, I always think it's a bit like a mosh pit, who's going to make it to the front first. So we'll just see who's going to step forward. Okay, so that mosh pit, I haven't thought about a mosh pit in a long time, so that's something to do with it. So we're going to see now. I feel there's another younger male stepping forward, and the first thing he's showing me about himself is he's wearing a Def Leppard t-shirt. His hair's dark and it's long, and he's a younger male. And what it draws my attention to is I feel his skin, he had a very pale complexion, and at a time he would have had, you know, that teenage skin that sort of left its mark a bit. He's a bit fluffy. Do you know, I don't think he'd even really be able to grow a beard or be old enough for a beard. And I feel that when you see him in my mind's eye here, my hair could do with a wee bit of a wash. It's long, but I don't really look after it properly. I just feel it's hanging, and my character, I am shy, you know, and I feel socially awkward, and I feel like I hide behind this curtain of hair that comes across my face here. There is a sense, I'll just stop right there. Does anybody recognize him initially? Because I feel there's a feeling here of him being like a friend.
Ruth has got her hand up, Gillian.
Who has it?
Ruth.
Ruth.
Hang on, I'll just unmute Ruth.
Okay, let me see if I can see Ruth. I'm scrolling on to Mother Wee page here. Ruth, Pringle,
That's me.
that's you. And you can take him, Ruth, can you?
Yes, I have an idea of somebody, and I would have known him at that age.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what I feel, would you understand the social awkwardness is the thing that's pressing on me the most at the minute?
He was quiet. He wasn't awkward.
Okay.
But there was a sensitivity with him, so that's probably what you're getting, you know.
Okay, there's just this feeling of not wanting to be seen, and there's also a feeling of at that age doing things in order to fit in that may not have come naturally to him.
No, not me.
Okay,
Maybe
it
somebody
doesn't
else.
really feel right. I feel like I'm more with somebody else, but anybody have like a son or somebody of that age, and this would have been a friend at that time, and I feel this person's passed a good wee while. Let me see. Okay, I'm just going to ask him.
You have a hand up, Julianne. Pam's
Who is
iPad. Pam,
Pam, which Pam now?
the lady I was with, blonde hair.
The lady you were with. I can't see. What did it say? Oh, Pam, I see you now. You're up beside me on my screen. So I'm looking all down the bottom. Okay, so Pam, what out of what I've said do you understand then?
Well, I had whenever I was running about, we would have been very much into heavy metal music.
Okay.
And a friend passed, and he would have had long hair and Def Leppard and that.
Okay, because the Def Leppard
Right.
t-shirt was the first thing. And can you understand, there's a feeling with him, it's like he's showing me he has a cigarette in his hand, but it's dead awkward. He's only doing it for show.
Yeah.
But it's what he's showing me. Can you understand that about him?
Yeah.
And it's like pardon?
Said you had to smoke to have the look, you know.
Yes. So it's like, but I'm not even holding it right. I'm holding it really awkward, and it looks awkward. Do you know, like I don't really want to be doing it, and I'm not even inhaling. Do you know, it's just nearly carrying the packet of cigarettes and the lighter is the main thing. And if I have to look like I'm smoking one of these, I will, but I'm very uncomfortable with it. And can you understand as well, with this person, there's that feeling of he's part of the group and he's well liked within the group, but he's sort of on the edges. He would be quieter than everybody.
Yeah, he was very quiet, man.
It just feels like he's very quiet, and there's a great sensitivity within him as well, and a great loyalty as a friend is what he's impressing upon me. And he cared very deeply about those people that connected in with him, because I feel like this person within their family group, I feel like his background was quite strict, and he didn't really feel entirely comfortable in that family background. So it was like, I'm holding on to my friends for dear life. Can you understand that with him, Pam?
Yeah, I do, yes.
Because it's just that feeling, and my voice sort of stuttered a wee bit there. Would you understand that he had a difficulty expressing himself even at times?
Yes.
Because it's very much, it would take a lot for me to voice my opinion, you know, and I wouldn't be outspoken in any way, but I would feel like I would need to go quietly to that person later if there was any sort of disagreement or altercation. He wouldn't be able to stand up for any of his friends at the time. It feels like that's when I'd be hiding behind my hair, but I would be very, very loyal and very sensitive, and I would go to that person later and offer my words of support or comfort, and that's very much the sort of sensitive man that he was, if you understand that. So let me just see what else he's given. Now, there is a feeling of going to music with this person, and there's a feeling of even dabbling, being part of a band with him. Can you understand that? Or it's like a deep helped, and maybe he wanted to, but he didn't act on it. But there's that feeling that the music sort of is where he sort of was able to grab an identity and stick with it. If you can understand that. And it nearly gave him a way of dressing and a way of thinking and an attitude towards life, and he pinned it all around this scene, if you understand. But I feel like there's another side of him that could have went off and been a vicar.
Oh, God.
He has that duality about him. Do you know that he went in this direction, but there was another side of him that was very, very spiritual and very deep.
Oh, he was, yeah.
You know, is what I'm saying, that if he didn't express himself in that way, then he could have easily later on in life went off and gone down that sort of a route, because he has that depth of thinking within him. Does the poem, do you remember the poem Desderada?
No,
It's putting
sorry.
that into my mind. It was really, do you know, around the time, it was all like the late 70s, early 80s. And that was a really popular, look it up, will you? He's drawn me to tell you about Desderada, if you look it up. And it's, the words of it are beautiful, but it's about, you know, why we're here and how we're interacting with everybody when we're here. And I feel like this person's coming around. There's very much, he wants to share with you, Pam, that you have a lot of the same character traits. I feel like there's two Pams. So there's Pam that gets the job done, and Pam that goes about her life. Very efficient Pam, you can rely on me, you know, you're there for everybody. I feel you're a good support to a lot of people around you, friends, you know, other mums of kids and stuff that yours would go about with. But there's definitely that feeling of very much, then there's the Pam that struggles and doesn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that's why he's coming in tonight, is just, there's like a feeling of hiding behind, you know, the Pam that you put forward to everybody. And there's just that feeling of, I feel he's in and around bringing support to that. But I feel, Pam, there is somebody around you, one friend I feel that you would talk to more than the rest. Would you understand that? And
Yes,
that
sir, yeah.
yeah, that person is your anchor and a really good support. And it's just, I feel this person's encouraging you to open up to this person more, because that they're very intuitive and they're there ready to help anytime you need it. So I think he's just coming in and around with support tonight. And also just to remind you that you have got a loyal friend there, and lean on them.
Yeah.
Because of everything that's going on. So if you can just take his support tonight. Okay, and he's sending that. And do you know, lots of good laughs he's talking about there just at the end. So just take that from him there at the end. Okay, let me see now. Thank you, Pam, for working with me.
Thank you.
Let's see. Now, if there's anybody else, I'm just going to see who's coming forward now. Okay, so the energy's just starting to build now with somebody else. We'll see. I'm just waiting. He's still here a wee bit, so I'm just waiting on him to subside. Okay, so there's a lady stepping forward now, and the way that she's presenting herself to me is very neat, prim and proper. Initially, she's showing herself to me here as, I feel she wants me to know she's a church-going woman. She's wearing a suit, what I would call like a summer suit. It's like in pastel colours, and she's got a wee cream blouse. She's showing me it's like a lavender. And there's a wee cream blouse, you know, with a wee collar out over the top of the lapels of the jacket is what she's showing me. And I think she's showing me she's married, this lady, just one simple golden band. There's no diamonds or anything, and she's stressing that to me. Very, very simply dressed. And what's most important to this lady is that her best foot's forward. She keeps herself very, her hair and everything cut short. I feel it's quite short and neat and tidy. And the first thing that she made me feel was that she was a church-going woman, this lady. Now, this feels like an aunt. It doesn't feel as strong as necessarily a grandmother, and that feels maybe, well, it might be a grandmother. She's sort of pulling me back from that, but it just feels that this lady's coming around, and she's given me the name of Iris. Iris. Does anybody understand this lady? Ruth.
Ruth, yeah.
Okay. Hi, Ruth. Do you understand the name Iris with her? I can't hear you, Ruth. I think you're still on mute.
There we go. I need to get someone to do it for me because I'm on the
Oh,
phone.
sorry. You're on.
Okay. I can't take the a name, Iris, but I can take the significance of the flower.
Okay, because see, when she said to me about the lavender colour in her clothes, there seemed to be something just linking in. So maybe that's where the iris came from. Because is it like a lavender blue sort of tingy? Is that what an iris is? Okay, and can you take can you take the relationship of the lady?
She's stepmother.
Okay, because it feels like a not as strong as a mother, but something else, but I couldn't pin it on either auntie or granny. Okay, let's see. And can you take the very need to put her best foot forward and present herself to the world as best she can? She showed me she wore like a string of pearls around her neck. And it's like when there was an occasion, you would see these because it was like her one sort of piece of jewelry that she would bring out and put on these occasions when she felt she wanted to be well presented. Can you understand with her, she's wearing this suit on this occasion and she wants me to know, as I say, she's a church going woman, but there is a real practical side to her because she's showing me another side of her life now that she'd be wearing like trousers and school sandals and getting the work done.
Oh yeah.
There's definitely a feeling of her of being very, very industrious around the house, Ruth.
Yes,
And
very much.
she's very fastidious about her housework. And I can see her, do you know, with one of those, I don't know if any of your mums or grannies or anything had them, but you know, it's like a gingham house coat and you put it on over your clothes.
I know what you mean.
And this is what she would have set her work for the day, was a list of jobs in and around the house. And she's showing me polishing brass, you know, and it's like she's on her knees at the hearth here polishing all her brasses. And she's the brass sewing, but there's such a feeling of satisfaction about running the home with this lady. And there's a real sense of pride in it. But she's showing me here, she's laughing because I said, and what else and what else? And I, you know, was asking her about other aspects of the running the home. And she's saying that she wasn't a very good cook.
No, she wasn't.
And she's saying, that's where I let myself down. That's where I fell down, because that was the one wee chink in her armour. She's saying she was a really good wife. She kept a really good home, but my dinners were terrible. And she's showing that, you know, when people would come in for cups of tea or anything like that, it was always like a shop bought apple tart. Do you know, because she's saying like I could never have made anything like that. So it was always things like that, but she says that she just wished she had been able to. So let's see what else she's bringing. Now see, when she's saying that, there's a real cheeky, feisty sense of humour with this lady, and it makes her feel now to me so much younger and so much more current than what she would have, her age would have been, if you understand, because there's a real feeling of open-mindedness with her. As much as she was a church-going woman and she had her faith and her beliefs, there's a real expansive feeling comes over me in terms of her acceptance of really anything goes in her book. And as long as you're happy, there's a feeling just that you're here in this life just to express who you are and be happy, whatever that might be. And there's a real feeling of, who am I to judge? Let everybody get on with it as long as they're not hurting me. And there's that feeling of real warmth and
Mhm.
wanting to be connected to other people and really not giving two hoots what they do in the privacy of their own home. So I'm just going to ask her why she's here. And you know, there's a feeling she's laughing here with me. Would she have tried things, Ruth, that you wouldn't have expected?
Yes.
There's just another wee bit of her coming in saying, oh, I'm up for anything. And she's talking about things, you know, that smelt funny.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
There's a feeling of, you know, fancy cigarettes, I'm going to call them. She would have tried anything just to experience it. There must be something in it if they're all doing it. It's, you know, that sort of way with it. So very, very much fun-loving, very much wanting to fully be who she was, express herself throughout her life. And I feel there was many different sides to her. She was a real enigma. And I feel that some people would know only one aspect of her, and other people would see that wee aspect of her. And, you know, but the full picture of her was very diverse and interesting lady. So let me just say what she's saying. Now, she's talking about creativity now with you, and I feel with her, she's talking about creativity and expressing yourself through. Now, I know you do art, Ruth, but there's something she's talking here about wanting just, you know, when I was saying there about her, there was like a real expansive feeling come over me, and what she was showing me, that she could really set parts of herself to the side and be somebody else for a while. And she's talking about you're very creative. There's things you're waiting to birth, but until you set a part of you to the side and allow yourself to be seen the way she was describing, all aspects of you, all facets, 360 degrees of Ruth Pringle. Do you know, you're not going to come forward until you do that. And she's talking about really loosening up. I feel really drawn to my solar plexus here, really loosening that up and just letting go of who you think you are.
Well, watch this space then, Julianne.
Go for it. Do you know what she's referring to, Ruth? It's to do with your work.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
Okay, it's to do with your work, and I'm very aware of time and eating into Zanne's time, so, but it's all to do with your work, and it's like you're pregnant and you're just waiting to give birth to it. So if you could just take that as her, you know, loosen up with it, have fun with it, and just let loose, let yourself go with it, and, you know, let who you think you might be or how other people see you, think other people might see you, fall to the side and just step forward with it. And that's what she wants to bring. And she's got such a fabulous sense of humor. She's laughing away here when I said pregnant. She's lovely, a very lively character, and just sends you lots of love and support, and very interested in you and interested in watching everything that you do. So there you go. Thanks for working with me.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And just want to tell you that I've never heard her described so perfectly in all of those facets. Even when she was alive, I don't think anybody could have described her so beautifully. And she's not that long ago.
Thank you.
So really,
just we dream.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
I have this man coming in, and I'm hearing the name of Jack. And this man, and I don't know whether Jack's his name or not, but this man has an energy that he's a bit of a Jack the Lad. So he's coming in, and his shoulders are going, and he's a bit of a cool guy, cool character. Dark hair, reminds me a bit of the Fawns, that kind of, you know, over exaggerated swagger. I feel that he would have spoken very quickly. I'm being forced to slow down here what I'm saying, so I feel like he would have really rabbited on. And I do feel this man, this younger man, would have been around motorbikes, would have been interested in mechanics, been involved with motorbikes. And I don't feel he would have been married, but I do feel that he was in a relationship. So I do feel he may have been engaged, or he certainly had a committed relationship. Is anyone? Billy Joe? Okay.
Yeah.
Dead on. I was panicking there. I thought I'm not going to get anything at all tonight. Okay, just as you waved there, he showed me a scene, and he showed me a scene of a sandy beach. Okay, so he showed me a scene of a sandy beach, and I think that's a memory, whether he lived near this beach or whether he went to this beach or whether you had a memory with him at this beach. But he showed me just the sand, very deserted beach. Feels like quite, certainly not abroad. It feels like it's here somewhere, it feels cold and windy. And I do feel this is somewhere he would like to go, but I also feel actually that he is from around this area. And I do feel, it's Scotland with him, but I do feel that he's around this area. And I do feel, would you understand, Billy, would you understand a connection with them in the family with fishing or gathering something from the sea? Would you understand that sort of connection with him? Because he's showing me like what is it? The seaweed, dulse. He's showing me dulse, and he's showing me that kind of that gathering in. So do you understand that in this family anywhere at all?
I don't know about his family, unless it could be someone else, because in all honesty, I've got so many male friends in spirit. I've honestly got somewhere between 10 to 15 male friends in spirit.
Oh dear.
And you could be describing one of two people, but the really prominent thing that was standing out for me was at the very beginning, when you said, what was it, Jack the Lad, that type of personality, would talk really fast, would get really kind of hyper, and but he used to go a motorbike, like he loved his motorbike, and that came into my awareness really strongly.
Okay, so let's do that some good. You'd understand him not only because he talked really fast, but he had a difficulty with breathing, with his throat, or there's something that he would have gasped at times. Literally, Okay.
I'm not sure. I can't think right now.
Okay, that's okay. I do feel, although I've described the scene, I do feel that I'm seeing a building, and the building reminds me of one of the technical colleges, Belfast here. So I do feel there's a link with the tech with them, probably with you, possibly with you with the tech.
Yes.
Although I don't feel that much of his attention was actually on learning when he was there.
Not right. We're definitely with the same guy. Yes.
Okay. I feel he was there to enjoy himself, to have a bit of, just to have fun.
Yeah.
I want to say, and he's letting me know this, he kind of thought he was a hit with the girls, but he wasn't really. But he wanted to be, and he wanted to believe that, but he wasn't really. And often he would be the one who felt left out, who felt excluded, who felt that he wasn't part of it. I want to talk also, he's coming in stronger now as I'm linking with you. I want to talk also about his sense of self-esteem, but I also want to talk about his mental well-being. He wasn't always, he had fragility there with him, is how I want to put it. And I feel his fragility, while it may have been in him, but I feel that it could well have been fueled by substances he was taking or had taken when he was younger.
That is spot on.
So I feel, there was some sort of addiction or dependency that had been, there was with him or had been with him over time. Okay. And I want to talk actually about him having lost several friends through the same situation, through this dependency.
Yes. And
yet he couldn't stop himself from feeding his habit. Yeah, I'm going to talk about feeding his habit. Okay. And he tried to, and he wanted to. And it really depressed him that he couldn't, because he could see how his life was stagnant and how he couldn't build or create anything from his life because he was caught in this kind of catch-22 situation where he needed this substance.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very, very difficult for him. I do feel that, okay, I don't know if there's a sister who's coming in or who's with him. No, that's wrong. I don't know if there's a sister who's showing me or whether it was a girl who did put time aside for him. But it doesn't feel like an intense love relationship. It feels more like a loving relationship, but not an intimate one.
Mm-hmm.
And is this you, Billy Joe, that we're talking about now? Is this you?
I actually think it could be spot on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of getting into the message. I actually want to, very emotional. He was very, very sensitive, incredibly sensitive. And before I go into the message, I want to tell you that I get the impression that he actually died in the end from an overdose. That was how, or that was related to his death in some way.
Oh my God.
It was the addiction. But really want to cry now because he wants to tell you, to get a stand back of it, how much he appreciated you.
Oh.
And how much you did for him and didn't know you were doing it.
Oh, thank you.
I'm trying to get a stand back of it so I'm not so emotional here. But he's so keen for you to know. He's so keen to come forward to you and for you to know this. And he's talking about one particular night that you spent time with him and you talked to him and you were there for him. And I believe he is in a very, very bad place this night. But you really supported him through that night. And he just really, really appreciates that.
Oh, thank you so much.
So I'm going to ask him to stand back because he's coming too close. I'm getting too emotional. So can you take his tremendous love, because it is love, that he has for you, and his appreciation and his gratitude?
He was like a brother. Like we weren't related, but we stayed together when we were students in a student flat, and we went to college together as well. So you were spot on with that, and we were like brother and sister. So yeah.
Good. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right. Let me kind of clear that a bit, or is going to come in? Okay, so I have now got a very big man with me. And I feel that this gentleman was both big and broad. And I'm hearing the name Paul. I don't know if the name Paul is him or someone associated with him, but I'm hearing the name Paul. Okay. And Paul, I feel that Paul is showing me cars, and he's showing me, it looks like a car showroom. So either Paul really liked his cars, or he worked with cars in some way. Whether he sold them or he was around cars anyway, and he liked nice cars. He liked really nice cars. I'm not sure whether Paul was well-heeled, so to speak, or not, but he liked to present himself that he was. He would have dressed in suits, the hair wasn't actually always short, had dark hair. Sometimes it was a bit longer, wavy. Yeah. He was a man with a purpose, and he worked very hard to support his family. Can anyone take that? Okay. Let's get a bit more. I'm not doing too well here, sure. No, let's get a bit more. Okay. So this guy, although he was, again, this big man who I think we're going back here to the 70s. It feels like that kind of time, to the 70s. And he was really fulfilling the male role. So he was like really being the masculine person. He liked his drink. He liked to go to the pubs. He liked to joke in a very male way. But there was a very sensitive side to him as well. There's very sensitive side that didn't get a chance to be shown. Okay, that other people didn't see. And in some ways, this guy was actually out of his depth. It was like he was putting on this facade of what he expected people to expect of him. But he was like a child underneath. He was very, very delicate, very, very fragile, very vulnerable. No? Yes? Anyone take it? No. Okay. So let me try one more time to see if I can get something that's really... Okay. He showed me a silver car. He showed me a silver car and it looks like it's a Capri or that type of car. And you know, okay, so he's showing me the car, but he's also, and he liked to drive fast. Okay. And I felt this car was somehow instrumental in how this guy passed. So whether he passed as a result of an accident, but this car, well, he must have passed as a result of an accident because he showed me this car that he was driving that was his pride and joy when he passed. No.
Can I,
Okay.
can I just interject? Kathy, is that making sense to you at all? Yeah. No. I don't know. I was very drawn to Kathy for that, but I'm going to step back.
Okay. I want to say as well, actually, now I want to say as well, okay, I feel very much, I don't know that your voice, not actually, I feel very much like I'm in Northern Ireland here. And I feel very much like this guy was involved in activity he shouldn't be involved in. And I feel that's why he's showing me the cars. Okay. So I do feel this guy was maybe involved in, I don't know, I don't want to say it, paramilitary activity, and hence the cars, and hence the way he had to present himself. But really underneath it, he was very, very insecure. And I do feel actually there was cross-border activity here as well. Okay. I don't, okay, yes, okay. I do feel that this guy was detected by the law. And I do feel that he served a short, some time in prison, in jail, and under a sentence. No? Does that mean anything?
I could definitely feel him there with you, Zanne. They're showing me, you know,
Yeah.
David from the church. Big
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, big guy, yeah.
Fun
Yeah.
and, you know, vivacious, but this whole other side to him. I mean, he's
Yeah.
really there.
Oh, he is. He's here. He's here. And he's almost like, it's, you know, he had to be this person to hide who he really was.
Mhm.
You know, so he would have went into the pub and he would have it would have been a life and soul, but it's at the same time he was very, very frightened. Let me see, can I get in? He's showing me horses. Okay, he's showing me horses. And I do feel he would like to bet, he would like to have had a bet on a horse. It would be in the bookies. And for some reason, the Grand National is significant. So that could be a memory around the Grand National, maybe doing a bet or maybe being in the bookies.
Do you know what's going to happen, Zanne? Somebody's going to go off and go, oh, I remember.
I know, it's not always the way of it.
Oh
I know. Okay. Okay. I mean, he's giving me this information, you know. Okay.
Well, Sam, if you give the message, maybe everybody could take it. Like sometimes that happens though.
Okay.
You know, it's like a collective thing.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. He's not even stepping forward with the message yet, Julianne. It's just like, you know, he wants to talk about where he came from and where he ended up. And he wants to talk about his lack of vision in the journey. Okay. And about feeling under the social pressure the paramilitary pressure because of his, and I do feel this is Protestant paramilitaries, this paramilitary pressure to get, which led him to where he was, and the regrets he had along the way. And basically the message for whoever it's for is listen to yourself. I'm not saying anyone's going the same journey and joining the paramilitaries. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, and don't let other people influence what's happening in your life. And I do feel this message is around family. And someone feels they're being pushed into something by family members. And he's saying very clearly, stand back, think about it. You don't need to be pushed into anything. So.
And on the last note, I'd say not bound to social pressures. You know, he's very much bound to the societal pressures there, and it's about just very much standing in your own power.
That's right. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. That's me.
Oh.
You okay, Julianne? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was on mute.
Listen, can I just thank everyone for being here, and just thank you, all of you, and Ashley and Julianne, thank you so much.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. Hope everybody else did too. I was gonna ask for a wee favor. I'm trying to practice my spirit art. So when Ashley was working first, I can't remember who got the first man. I think it was you, Billy. And I drew this person. Now, if it's not like him at all, just tell me. But I'm just interested in the feedback because I'm practicing this.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Scott had brown eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that like kind of like really kind of like almost light brown hair to dark brown hair?
I just picked the pastels that I was drawn to. I didn't get a real impression of a particular color of hair, so I just made it mousy.
Wow, that is amazing.
You know, he had like the strong jaw and the thick neck, you know, with him, and that sort of very angular, you know, like quite a large face.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. Well done. That is really incredible.
Oh, thank you. I'm just practicing, so I just wanted to know if it was anything like him at all.
Wow, so no, it is. There's a lot of similarities there. You've done amazing. Well done. Wow.
Thanks, Billy. Thanks, everybody. It was such a lovely wee session.
Anne, can I just jump in here, Zanne? I think I see the guy you were talking about there. What was throwing me was the name. I think, actually, do you remember my cousin that came through last week? I think that's him because he was in jail and it was paramilitary. And a lot of what you're saying related, and it was the final message where you were saying about pressure, because my son is in a position now. Now it's nothing to do with paramilitary, it's to do with his child, but he's getting a lot of pressure. And my cousin had a similar situation where he had children with various women and always very much wanted to be the dad to all of them, but couldn't because the current partner always kind of prevented it. So I think, see, because he had come through the last time I spoke to you, I thought it can't be him. He can't have come through again.
Why they come in again? If the message needs to get there, you know, when I was in circle, like your granny can come through every week. If you need that message,
I think it was
David.
Thank you, Mandy. And there was a connection with I think there was a connection with children. I was going to say it as well. There was a connection with children within the message.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, thank you for
that's spot on. And the whole thing about the paramilitaries, and he always felt, because when it was coming up to his death, he talked a lot about that. He talked a lot about, I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I should have stood up and I should have been stronger. And do you know what I mean? So that was very, very accurate. So thank you.
Thank you. That's a relief.
No, I guess, and I knew you had him. He was very there. I was like, whoa, he's definitely here. So I just wanted to let you know that hopefully it didn't like, you know, jump in, but there you go, you got her wee message. Well, yeah, just thank you everybody. Thank you, Zanne, for setting this up and sorting it all out. So thank you to Zanne.
Well, it was Billy as well. Billy did so much work.
I wanted to say thank you very much for letting me come.
Oh God, you're more than welcome.
It was so nice. You guys were awesome.
Oh,
thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
It really does mean so much to me that you took your time and energy to be a part of the festival. So what a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's wonderful work you're doing, actually, Billy Joe. So yeah, absolutely. It really is.
And that messages were very healing. So thank you so much.
Good. Okay. We'll call it an evening then.
Let's go enjoy our Friday night.
That was brilliant. That was
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.